Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McGonigal. Shannon Newth anchored our morning coverage. First at 5:30, the first phase of reopening Montana is underway with houses of worship yesterday and Main Street and retail businesses today. Governor Steve Bullock told MTN today that this milestone was only possible because Montanans took the virus seriously. Beginning next week, bars, restaurants, and casinos will also open up with restrictions. Gyms will remain closed until phase 2. The governor said the reason for their exclusion was based upon recommendations from health officials due to sweat transfer and heavy breathing. Right now, the state doesn't have a hard date for when that next phase might begin and will base it upon data, resource availability, and input from health experts. The governor asked people to continue social distancing and wear a face mask in higher volume places like grocery stores,
where you could actually be in pretty close contact with someone who could sneeze or cough, that it really is a good idea. It's not a requirement, it's not a mandate, but it really is a good idea to wear one of those masks, a non-medical mask, just to keep our community that much safer.
The governor's order allows local jurisdictions to set more strict requirements or delay reopening some businesses. Well, the latest update from the state of Montana, as of today, we have had 449 confirmed COVID-19 cases. Gallatin County has the most cases and now has its first death, bringing the state total to 15. Cascade County has 14 cases, Lewis and Clark 16, Toole County with 29. 352 Montanans have recovered and 11 are currently hospitalized. Well, under the governor's reopening plan, school districts have the option of reopening on May 7th. At a work session this afternoon, Great Falls school board members asked health experts about bringing over 10,000 students back into the district's buildings.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think it opens up a potential floodgate for this to spread very quickly and easily throughout our community.
GFPS trustees maintain they want to keep the safety of their students and faculty in mind, and today discussed if schools could open in a way that would be efficient and safe for all involved. Questions from school board members and discussion from the CCHD, Sheriff's Office, school board members, and district nurses all brought up points of what each step would entail to be able to reopen. And one issue brought up includes the possibility of PPE or personal protection equipment for staff and students.
What we have right now is very, very, very minimal supplies of everything. And apparently we're not going to be getting any more. So yeah, we wouldn't have enough to even cover 1/3 of your staff and your students.
Now, the district website says trustees will make their decision whether or not to reopen at a special board meeting next Monday at 5:30. Meanwhile, the Helena School Board meets tomorrow. Reopening talks are on the agenda, and we'll be sure to keep you posted on what they decide. Well, after a $484 billion coronavirus relief package was signed into law by President Trump Friday, the Rebound Montana is looking into how some of that money will help boost businesses in the Treasure State. MTN's Keely Van Middendorp has more on funds reallocated to the Paycheck Protection Program and how it's meant to help Montana business owners.
More help is on its way to help business owners around the nation, including here in Montana, after the Paycheck Protection Program got a big boost Friday in the form of $310 billion. But financial experts say the additional money authorized by Congress is not going to stick around long.
This money, we expect it to go very, very fast.
Banks opened to the second round of applications Monday morning, and financial experts say business owners and sole proprietors must act quickly.
They need that money, especially these smaller Main Street businesses. And so they're very concerned about getting in on it now.
Shopper says there's no minimum for those applying for PPP funds.
There are a lot of banks across our region that I know for a fact are doing under $10,000.
Money is allocated based on payroll. Shopper says the program is meant to help businesses get back on their feet.
Upon close of the loan, if you utilize all of the money within 8 weeks of closing, that can be forgivable. It has to be used for payroll expenses because it's meant to put people back to work, but that can be a forgivable loan to really help so you can use your resources towards working capital.
She says applications that didn't make the initial deadline aren't prioritized this time around.
Bankers are working so hard to make sure that every application gets through. So if your bank has your application, I'm sure that they're submitting it. But again, talk to your bank.
She says money from the first round of funding ran out in just 5 business days. And while some say large corporations cashed in initially, Schalper says time has always been key in obtaining funds for any business, no matter the size.
Then you look at the resources that some of these larger corporations have. So they were able to act very quickly and get in there.
For business owners and proprietors who don't make this round of funding, do not despair. Schalper says help is here through banks, the Small Business Administration, and economic development teams. In Great Falls, Keely Van Middendorp, MTN News.
And we want to help keep you prepared. As Schalper says, that money will go quickly. Now is the time to talk to your bank about a Paycheck Protection Program application. Have your documents in order and apply as soon as possible. And again, don't despair. There are other resources available when funding runs out. We have more information on our websites. COVID-19 has had a significant impact on the nation's workforce, with more than 20 million Americans filing for unemployment benefits. And apprenticeships can be good opportunities for those looking for a career change or an entry into the workforce. There are currently more than 2,000 registered apprentices in the state of Montana. Around 70% are in construction fields like electricians and carpenters. But in recent years, the state has seen more apprenticeship programs develop in fields like healthcare, information technology, and even brewing. The Montana Department of Labor and Industry says apprenticeship fills a needed position for the company while also providing a career for the worker.
You know, it's difficult for employers to always be in that cycle of trying to find new employees. And if they have a registered apprenticeship program, it helps tremendously in building that retention into their workforce.
The Department of Labor and Industry says apprenticeship programs can also be a good tool for employers who are looking at filling a job but are having some trouble finding people with the right training. Well, a waste collection company is launching their new Committed to Serve initiative. The $20 million program will help Republic Services employees, customers, and their local communities. The company previously committed to providing meals for employees and their families, and over the next 2 months, all of Republic Services' 28,000 frontline employees will receive a weekly meal and bi-weekly $100 gift card. Those gift cards will be for local establishments, and that includes more than just restaurants.
Will allow them to choose where they want to spend, right? So that could be they need to go to the grocery store and they want to support their grocery store. They want to buy their family a meal. They want to treat some friends to ice cream, or they want to go buy themselves a new pair of jeans, right? It's up to them how they want to use those dollars and support their community.
Republic's service area includes Great Falls and Lewistown. The company has purchased almost $20,000 in meals for their employees from local restaurants since the pandemic began. Well, for most of the day, our Storm Tracker weather team has been focusing on some strong winds. Right now, the focus shifting to thunderstorms that have developed. Brandon, where are we seeing those storms right now?
Well, for the most part, they're still off to our west in western Montana, but we are starting to see some showers develop in our area as well. We're going to take a look at the lightning tracker to start things off. You can see quite a few flashes of lightning off in western Montana still here this evening, and then one kind of stronger shower starting to develop up toward Hill County. Could quickly turn into a weak thunderstorm there, and that's in general what we're expecting. Just a few weak thunderstorms here and there, nothing severe, nothing even on the strong side, maybe some brief gusty winds and some very small hail out of the moisture that's moving in right now. Now, getting back to those winds, they were very strong through the day today. I had a 43-mile-per-hour wind gust in Great Falls, a 60-mile-per-hour gust up in Cutbank. If we take a look at the current conditions, we're still looking at some pretty strong winds. 33-mile-per-hour current gust in Helena, 65 degrees, so at least the temperature is comfortable. Did have some raindrops falling in Helena just a few minutes ago. As far as Great Falls, 62 degrees with a wind gust at 32 miles per hour. Haven't really seen too much rain in Great Falls so far. Good news, wind is going to be dying down, at least for some of us tomorrow. We'll have more on that later in the show.
Thanks, Brandon. The Office of Montana Attorney General is up for grabs this year. When we come back, we'll meet the 2 Democrats vying for the state's top law enforcement job.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. One of the top electoral contests in Montana this year that's not getting much attention is the race for Attorney General. The incumbent, Republican Tim Fox, is running for governor, and 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans are in the race to fill the open seat. And in less than 2 weeks, on May 8th, Primary election ballots will be mailed to all registered voters in Montana. As part of our ongoing series on contested statewide primaries, MTN's Mike Dennison looks first at the Democratic primary for Attorney General between Kim Dudick of Missoula and Rafe Graybill of Helena.
Attorney Kim Dudick of Missoula has been a state legislator since 2013 and has passed more than 24 bills on issues like human trafficking, bullying in school, and fighting child abuse. She says that background is one thing that makes her a good choice for Attorney General.
I've been out there on the front lines doing this work, earning the respect that I have in the field and in the legislature for what we've been able to get done.
Her opponent in the Democratic primary is 31-year-old Rafe Graybill, who is chief counsel to Governor Steve Bullock. Graybill points to his record of going to court on behalf of Montana in major cases, such as beating big tobacco on vaping rules and the Trump administration to shine a light on dark money.
The Attorney General's job is not to cut deals in the legislature. Their job is to go to court when Montanans need it the most and stand up in court and be an advocate for us.
For example, Graybill has a plan to take on the prescription drug industry for alleged price gouging and other issues he says keep drug prices too high.
The practices that we talk about in the plan, like illegal price fixing, like pay-to-delay schemes, which take billions of dollars from us and give them to prescription drug companies, those are illegal now. But the reason they go on, the reason they're so widespread, is we haven't made it a priority in Montana to fight those schemes.
Dudick also says she'd like to take on the high cost of health care as Attorney General, but that she would take aim at illegal drugs as well, such as methamphetamine.
I think that more needs to be done to ensure that we have enough treatment in our state and that we have programs like pretrial diversion programs or deferred prosecution programs that can help citizens or treatment courts.
But the case each candidate must make in the primary election is who can win in November against the Republican nominee and Green Party candidate Roy Davis. The 45-year-old Dudick believes she has broad appeal with her background both as a nurse, a lawyer, and a lawmaker, working with both parties to pass legislation.
If you want to get elected, you have to have developed relationships with people across the state where you prove that we have the same issues we care about, like human trafficking prevention or dealing with child abuse.
Graybill says he's built a better campaign, raising more money than any other candidate, and notes that a national Republican Attorney General's group is already buying up TV time this fall in Montana.
And we've been working this thing really hard for a long time. And that was because we knew November was going to be an uphill climb, and we wanted to build a campaign that could win.
So, who can win in November to occupy the Attorney General's office in this building behind me? That's the question for Democratic voters in the primary, and it's also a prominent issue in the Republican primary, which we'll look at tomorrow. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Well, we're tracking some showers tonight, a great day tomorrow, and then a big warm-up coming soon. We're going to talk all about all of those after the break.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with meteorologist Brandon Michaels.
Well, we are tracking quite a few areas of showers developing here this evening. The most recent kind of batch of showers is mainly up in Hill County, extends in Phillips County, or excuse me, Blaine County a little bit as well. Mainly light showers with maybe some embedded heavier rains in there. At this point, not a thunderstorm, but it could grow to that fairly soon. Most of the rain is still off to the west. You can see it kind of streaming off of the divide there. And we're going to continue to track showers through the evening. So let's take a look at Future Track. Future Track does show isolated to scattered showers kind of all across the area over the next couple of hours. Again, nothing strong, nothing severe, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder, some briefly heavy rain, some small hail, some gusty winds, but nothing you have to be all that worried about. Through the night tonight, that lingers, but we're going to clear out nicely. By tomorrow morning, pretty much everybody is looking at beautiful sunshine, and we're going to carry that sunshine pretty much all through the day tomorrow. So clear skies almost all day long. It's going to be a pretty nice day for our Tuesday, with a couple of exceptions, and we're going to get into those exceptions right now. One of those is going to be some stronger winds, and those winds are with us right now, and they're going to stay with us through the night tonight. We're looking at about 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts almost statewide here by tomorrow morning. Still a little bit on the breezy side by the afternoon, though. Some of us are going to lose the wind, mainly from that Havre-to-Lewistown line. Anywhere west of that, we're looking at wind gusts maybe 20-25 miles per hour, but still stronger winds lingering into eastern Montana. So not as pleasant of a day, and that also has some issues. When you combine that with the sunshine and the overall dry weather we've been having, we do have a fire weather watch that's in effect for pretty much the northeastern quarter of the state, and that's through the day tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So higher fire danger there. Fires could easily start, easily spread, and we'll keep an eye on those fire conditions through the day tomorrow. Now, let's get into some more good news. We talked about this on Friday. We're going to talk about it again because it's still in the forecast. This big ridge building in, and that is just a big warm air mass that's going to be sitting right on top of us. It's going to start to move in a little bit tomorrow, but really on Wednesday, it's going to be just right on top of the state of Montana, and we're going to see some beautiful temperatures because of that. So speaking of temperatures, it's already fairly mild right now. We've got plenty of 70s, Glasgow, Jordan, and Havre in the 70s. Some cooler spots too, like Kalispell and Cutbank, only sitting in the 50s right now as far as overnight lows tonight. Fairly mild, 30s and 40s are going to be expected across the area, so not a particularly cold night, and high temperatures tomorrow are going to be comfortable again. Pretty much 60 statewide. We're looking at 69 in Jordan, 61 for Lewistown, 67 in Great Falls, 69 for the high temperature in Helena. So pretty comfortable, but I said that warmer air moves in Wednesday, and we're going to see that right now on the 7-day forecasts. I think we've got a pretty good chance to hit 80 degrees by Wednesday. It's the warmest air of the season by far, the warmest air of the year by far. Partly cloudy skies there. As we head into Thursday, that big ridge that built in is going to start to collapse, and that's going to give us a chance for a couple of showers here and there. A little bit cooler temperatures, but still above average for this time of year at 68 degrees. Some clearing into Friday. Saturday looks really nice, 67 degrees, the high temperature there. Kind of a mix of showers and storms possible for Sunday. Mostly cloudy and a little cooler on Monday. We'll run through the forecast for Helena as well. Again, we go from 69 tomorrow to 80 degrees on Wednesday with a mix of sun and clouds. And then again, that pretty good chance of rain comes Thursday. Clearing out Friday, Saturday, really nice temperatures both of those days. Then a little chance of showers and storms into the day on Sunday before we cool off on Monday. Tom?
Just because we're social distancing doesn't mean we can't count down the top 5 moments of the week. Game Changers coming up later.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on Montana's news leader.
Well, the phased reopening of Montana offers the potential for summer sports teams to resume practice and the possibility that games could return sooner than later. But in the meantime, MTN's Tom Wiley will count down our weekly social distancing game changers.
Hello folks, you caught me and Cece just going through some of the footage, editing this week's Game Changers, looking for the funnest, most creative ways that Montanans stayed connected this week. Let's take a look at our top 5 favorite of the week. There's no better time to go for a drive than quarantine. The Helena Valley Timing Association held a Cruising the Drag Night on Friday. One of several events like it across the state. They raised food and even stopped by a nursing home to spread positivity in the community. And at number 4, another big name joins the Troy Strong game of virtual catch. How about 14-year NFL veteran quarterback Drew Bledsoe? He throws a pass to young Troy Ross as the viral sensation continues to grow. At number 3, family made the 77th birthday of Anita Jensen just a little bit brighter on Friday when they planted 44 signs featuring the faces of friends and family members in her front yard overnight, making for an incredible surprise when Anita woke up and peeked outside. At number 2, Toole County has been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic, so iFly Big Sky held an honor flight over Shelby, circling once for each of the community members that have passed away. And at number 1, some user-submitted video, and this is awesome. Former State Sea golf champion Katara Ryan from Sunburst and her dad have been inventing ways to have fun and practice some chipping skills, all while maintaining their social distancing, launching these golf balls into a shrinking pyramid of cups in their living room. Thanks to Dave Ryan for sending along this video. Of course, we're always looking for videos, so you can send us any clips you might have or any fun, creative ideas you might have. Just send an email to homehighlights@krtv.com. We'll feature it either on Monday during Game Changers or sometimes on the weekend as well. Reporting from home, Tom Wiley with Cece Wiley, MTN News.
Well, Great Falls Bookstore has a new home. Cassiopeia Books posted to social media over the weekend to let patrons know about their new location at 606 Central Avenue. Manager Andrew Gashowski told MTN News the building that housed the store at 721 Central recently sold, prompting the move. He wanted to keep the bookstore downtown and thinks the new location will be perfect for operations. The venue offers more room for events and is closer to downtown. Gashowski anticipates the store will open in its new home in early May. And while the store is closed, he's still offering book deliveries and scheduled curbside pickup. We'll be back with a final look at weather right after this.
Welcome back. We are still tracking some showers and storms here this evening, and we're going to continue to do so through the night tonight. We'll keep you updated on those in case any of them get a little bit on the strong side, although we're not expecting that as far as through the next week here. Looking at some chances for rain for Thursday and on Sunday.
Finally, Spain has had some of the toughest social distancing guidelines, and that's forced residents to get a little creative to get some fresh air. People aren't supposed to leave their houses at all unless they're essential workers. One loophole is that they're allowed to walk pets. So some people have tried to push their luck with that. Spanish National Police say they've stopped people walking with hens and fish in tanks. One guy was even walking a stuffed dog. Spain's lockdown will continue until at least May 9th, though kids under the age of 14 can now go outside for an hour a day. So yeah, that's really pushing it with the pets.
It is.
Emotional support, stuffed animals and teddy bears. And
maybe crossing the line a little bit.
Just be patient, people. It'll get back to normal, we hope. That's all the time we have. We'll see you back here at 10.